Hi, friends. How are you doing today? I'm in a new location for a new topic. I even brought my trusty notebook today because this is a new one for me, and I want to talk about decision making. I'm a walking oxymoron because one, I am a very spontaneous decision maker. I don't like decisions waiting on my plate. I like to have them done and off my plate and away. But I'm also the least spontaneous person you've ever met. So I think I'm a walking paradox, but it makes sense in my mind. So whether or not it makes sense to you, I guess it doesn't matter. But one of the things I've been working on is taking my time to make decisions, trying to undo that feeling of I just have to get it off my plate, because I tend to make a lot of my decisions out of fear or from a very emotional place and not from a very logical place. And I'm working on fusing these two places so that I'm making decisions that are both from an emotional, what is my gut saying standpoint, but with a logical process. And this is what I've learned. I've done this a couple times now, and it seems to be working really well. Because I don't love just like having a decision out in the open, knowing it needs to be made at some point. That really freaks me out. So one of the things I've been doing is setting a time boundary in which I will make that decision and saying, okay, I'm going to make this decision by next Friday, in 1 month, in a week from today, whatever that is, tomorrow, whatever it is, give yourself a boundary so that you don't just feel like it's flailing out in the open. If you're someone that's really freaked out by having things just kind of happening, or if you know you're a pretty indecisive person, give yourself that boundary and say, I will have this decision made by then. And that starts to really calm my nerves. The other thing I want you to always remember is you don't have to make decisions alone. You can, if you want to, involve other people that you trust, that won't bulldoze you. If you sometimes want to, I'm a verbal processor. I like to talk it out. If you want to talk it out with someone, find someone that you can talk it out with and start to process, because I tend to find as I'm talking it through, I realize I know the answer. The other thing you can do is take time to get quiet. So after you've used the sounding boards, you've set your timeline, give yourself some space. Give yourself some space to actually hear what your intuition, your gut, your heart, whatever it is telling you, because it's going to tell you something about every decision. Always. Our bodies and our minds always have something to say. So take some time to make sure you're getting quiet and checking in with what you want and what you need and whether or not your needs are being met. And ask yourself this question, which is, how often is my gut wrong? Typically, my gut's not wrong. And I don't know, but I feel like your gut's probably not wrong either, especially if it's not making decisions out of fear. Like the real gut that's really under all the fear and scariness and craziness, that gut that's in there. How often is your gut wrong? And then think about whatever your answer to that question is and factor that into your decision making. If your gut is 95% of the time right, then maybe it's time to get back and listen to your gut and your heart and your intuition. If you're saying, my gut's not really off, or something's up with my mind, my heart, my gut, and the way they're thinking, take that into account too. There's no wrong answer. But give yourself a process to help make decisions so that you don't feel, I just fell, did you see that? Give yourself a process to make these decisions so that you don't have to feel like you're doing them in isolation or alone, or that there are these big scary things looming over your head that cause you not to be able to sleep at night. Okay, more sleep at night is always the goal for me. So I know when I have these big decisions looming, I have a hard time sleeping, eating, thinking straight, getting other things done. So if we give our decision making some parameters, maybe then we can focus on the tasks at hand and start to move forward in making these decisions from a place that balances out our logic, our intuition, and our emotions. That's the goal for me anyway. All right, I love you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm thinking about you, and I'll talk to you soon. Mwah. Bye, loves.